All right, and we are live. So welcome to the first FPS live stream of May. Should have been in April, rescheduling. These things happen. So today we're going to be talking about ideas for the masks we wear, which was the prompt for previous month. And then we're also going to talk about what we're going to do for May, because it's been 1 year of Film Prompt Society. So we want to celebrate it by doing something a bit different. So we're thinking doing something where we all work together in some form to create one big project that's slightly more interconnected than the films usually end up. So we'll find out at the end of the stream what form that's going to take. But for now, if you've got any ideas that you think you want to throw out there for us to do with that, have a little think. We'll be talking about that in maybe 20 minutes. We're going to talk about the masks we wear first. So first of all, introductions. So should we start with Henry?
Hello. Damn it, I've done it again every single time. Hi, I'm Henry. You go by the handle online Supernova, spelled horrendously. It's probably going to be in the description of this video. So good luck with that.
They're not there yet. I'll stick them in there afterwards. I didn't fix that. Sorry. Continue.
Okay, no. I make like techie type videos, mostly relating to software development. I am trying to branch out into other types of video because I've got a lot of interests other than just software development. I thought software development would just be a nice way to get started. But yeah, that's me.
Okay, Jamie?
Hello, I'm Jamie Does Things. In a nutshell, I do creative experiments and things like animation and green screen, and I share the results and the process and what I've learned on my YouTube channel.
Very nice and to the point. The thing we actually we beforehand actually said, right, we'll prepare a thing rather than just splurge words.
People might not know who we are. We should tell them. Oh yeah, it's never about us. It's always about the stream as a whole.
Yeah, and I am Jules. I go by Jules Ender. I make short films, animation, stop motion stuff. I'm trying to branch out into some different kinds of things, which I'm keeping quiet for now. Not that makes it sound more exciting than it is. It's not. Yeah, various things on my YouTube channel, vlogs, video game reviews, stuff like that. And yeah, that pretty much sums up the things I make. So let's get started then. So if you have any ideas for what we could do for this collaborative project, feel free to stick them in the chat or hang on to them until we get onto that. But we're going to first of all talk about the masks we wear. So, oh no, I'm going to cough. No, I have a cold. I apologise.
We'll take over whenever Jules is coughing.
Right, if you guys can talk for a moment, and I pulled out my earphones, this is going great. If you guys can talk for a moment, I will get the mind map stuff up, and then we can start building that.
Fantastic. I'm so excited about the mind map. That was one of my favourite parts of the streams that we've done so far.
For real, I don't know why I love just seeing like raw information splayed out on the screen like that. I don't know what it is. It's something so satisfying about it. But yeah, I honestly haven't really thought much about this one, mostly because I still haven't finished last month's prompt either, which I'll get to one day. But yeah, I don't know. What have you been thinking about it?
I did have one idea about it, and it was very sort of on the nose, I suppose. But yeah, I'm sure we can come up with a few more ideas. For anybody who isn't sure what we're talking about, this is May's Film Prompt Society prompt, The Masks We Wear. And yeah, if you haven't made a film before with us, just make something short to do with that prompt. It can have the line in it. It can just be to do with masks. It can be vague. It can be inspired by something we come up with today in our mind map session. Yeah, just have fun.
Right, can you hear me and see the mind map screen?
Yes, we can.
And the mind map screen is what you're seeing?
It's right.
It is indeed.
Fantastic. I have done things correctly. So I can't currently see you guys in the camera, so I can't check what's being broadcast. I can only see the mind map. So
we're not looking up the camera or anything.
Cool, good. It's all worked. I still don't trust Google Hangouts particularly. So, I guess the usual way we do this is we come up with a few like general categories and then branch off those with more details. So
I'm wondering
while I put my laptop on my lap so I can actually type now that I don't need to be worrying about the camera.
I'm wondering if we should start with the films that have already been submitted. So I think that would be yours and Matt's.
Ooh. Oh,
So the sort of concepts of those.
Mhm.
So
I forgot that Matt's totally counts to this.
Matt is the reason we have this prompt. So
Yeah,
what should
No,
we
he
call?
was definitely inspired by the prompt.
What's the
prompt came
category
first,
we put
remember that.
Matt's under? Sort of mass murderer. Should we go with that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like we need like a head, like that should be a sub or like a smaller category of what, like, I guess literal sense of the mask we wear as in being a real life mask, and then that should branch off that. Because yours and his kind of fall into that. Yeah, like real human, not real human masks, real thing masks, physical.
So all right, physical mask.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Mask.
I need that organization for some reason.
No, that's fine. And then we can have metaphorical mask.
Uh-huh.
And I have to spell metaphor.
Metaphor.
You know when you just can't think.
Yeah. Yes.
As I said, I've got a cold.
You did great. First time.
Hell yeah.
Woo.
So we've got physical, we've got metaphorical.
What would you call my one, really? Like as a general thing, like how to make a mask.
Yeah, making a mask.
Making a mask, yeah. Making a mask.
Making a mass murderer. Making. Oh god.
I love the diversity that can come out of this, and even though it's in the same bullet point of physical masks, it's like happy, beautiful felt crafting video versus somebody literally getting murdered in their house. I hope that's
and that is the brilliance of these kinds of prompts.
So
we should probably say, although this is the prompt for April, the deadline is when we do the live stream talking about the videos, which is usually about the third week of the following month. So you've probably got about 2 weeks at least to make this if you have an idea. That's why we're doing this. We're not doing this just before we talk about the films, because that would be silly. Yeah. So.
And deadline is a loose term anyway. You can make a film for an old prompt if you want to.
I think I still have one of the really old prompts on a notepad on this computer somewhere that I'll get to eventually.
The big video that I've been working on for like forever is technically for an old prompt.
Nice.
Months gone by.
It's a labor of love.
Yes.
And labor. A lot of labor.
So what else can we put under physical mask then?
Superheroes.
Yeah, definitely. Like secret identities, superheroes, and I guess I guess secret identities could be both physical and metaphorical. In like the way you disguise yourself online being a mask.
Oh, I'm going to stick secret identity down here then. So.
Who else wears masks? Doctors and surgeons?
I'm Googling them very quickly.
Yeah.
Oh my god, how have I not thought of this? The film The Mask, Jim Carrey's masterpiece.
Yeah, The Mask.
Oh.
You just shimmy up here a little bit, I think. Rejig these.
Should we just have metaphors on the left, physical on the right? I don't know if there are more categories.
Yeah, we probably. Yeah, we might well come up with something, but yeah, this'll work. So, I'm trying to think of masks that it's not just naming masks because I'm not sure how useful. You know what? I might actually call this one types of mask.
Nice.
Because maybe coming up with different types of masks might spark that little inspiration for somebody.
Yeah.
So,
you never know.
Medical masks.
The one that Anonymous wears.
Anonymous. I can never spell anonymous. All these words. You know what it means. If it's wrong, you can work it out. It's fine.
I'm pretty sure that's right.
Yeah.
Right.
Basically.
So, like, who else wears
Plague
masks?
Doctor masks.
Ooh.
I don't know why my mind's there.
I mean, you could probably stick that on the medical, but I mean, it's its own thing, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Definitely. If you said medical mask, I'm not thinking of a plague doctor. So.
Are you my mummy?
Oh, Jesus.
Oh no! Oh no, not that.
It's been so long and it's still so vivid in my mind.
Yeah.
I've only watched about 8 episodes of Doctor Who, and that is one of them, and it's terrifying.
Right, shall we move on to metaphorical? Because I think we've got a good solid mix of physical masks.
Yeah.
So let's go into this whole metaphorical thing.
So secret identity, in the sense of, could be in the sense of like you hiding your true self, or you hiding your fact that you're a superhero, which I guess is one and the same, but there's a bit of a contrast to that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I like the kind of the comparisons, like that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure how to word it, but the concept of people, especially online, presenting themselves without presenting their face and then later doing a face reveal, something to do with the face reveal.
Oh, yeah.
Anonymity slash face reveal.
Face reveal 100 subs.
Anonymity online, yeah.
Yeah. Anonymity online.
I'm just thinking, we're thinking of mask as in like the thing that hides a face, but I'm just trying to remember masks that are like other words for that.
Actually, that is part of what inspired my idea, the idea of sort of masking in something like Premiere Pro, which is going to factor into the editing of my video if and when I make it. So
I'm just
yes,
on
there are definitely
Wikipedia.
other meanings.
Mask disambiguation. A lot of these are the film The Mask. There's been several iterations of it. Jesus Christ. There's a lot. There's a lot to do with computing and technology, which is handy for me. There's like masking in terms of like communication, either via radio transmissions or via like there's subnet masks in IP addresses. I know it's going to be dry as hell to talk about, but it's something.
You can always make these topics interesting, Henry.
No, there's definitely
some things are too far gone.
This IP, like anything to do with internet communication, is dry as hell. Like,
I'm sticking it in. So
no, do it, go for it. Ooh, I could be. No, that's too much of a stretch. I was just thinking, like, it could be in it. It wouldn't actually fit in. I'm just having like 6 or 7 tangents in my head. Sorry. In the sense of like, there's a software development thing called Encapsulation, and what's the word? I can't remember my terms at all. But where you wrap up functionality in a nice, accessible thing, so someone could say, do the thing rather than do each individual tiny thing. I can't remember what the name of that is. It might be encapsulation, but that's like a kind of a mask for the horrible bits behind the scenes.
Yeah, masking things off. Although it's specifically the masks we wear, so somehow finding a way to incorporate that. It's like just wearing
the code wear mask.
Yeah.
What if code wore mask?
What if we wore the internet?
What if and become code mask?
What if?
Sorry, I'm
sorry, what is happening?
What if the code is the murderer, was the murderer all along?
What if the
In
code
a mask.
was that Loki's mask that caused us to murder, tying together all of these, and then Jim Carrey had to hide who he really was the whole time? Yeah, sorry. On other
The real
masks,
mask
Jules,
was the friends we made along the way.
just put encapsulation for code. That's where all that was going from.
Okay,
Sorry.
encapsulation code stuff.
Sorry, encapsulation, like
Encapsulation.
capsule. Yeah.
Cool. Right.
Sorry, that was one hell of a tangent.
I want to put a bit more stuff on the metaphorical, but I don't really know how to phrase like the whole concept of having different masks for like different social things, and like my brain is just going back to the Beatles song Eleanor Rigby. So there's the face that she keeps in a jar by the door, or wherever the line is.
So like the different use that you present different people, there's got to be a concise way of saying that.
Yeah, there must be a term. Like, surely the world of psychology must have a term for that. It won't be a term we know, but
Janus.
I'm desperately looking for it, but I'm getting a lot of articles from websites called lifehack.com, and I don't really want to go on that.
So would something like makeup be a physical or a metaphorical mask, or does it straddle that line?
I wish I could link from two directions with this software, but I mean it's free, so you know can't fault it. But yeah, that definitely straddles. I can speak. Straddles the two of them.
It'd be kind of cool to see like a makeup tutorial.
Yeah, you know, I'm just going to stick it in both, because then I don't have to think how to make that work.
There's a respirator is an air filter worn as a mask over the nose and mouth. So rather than a mask that do a hide of the face, it's kind of like a tool. I wonder what is it. There's got to be more than that. Like masks as tools rather than
functional.
Yeah. Rather than like, well, I guess medical masks fall underneath that. There's masks for anonymity and there's like functional ones. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just riffing at this point.
No.
That's all these live streams are. The live riff.
All right.
No, the rest of them
if we try and throw one or two more out there, and then we'll wrap this up and move on to the next stuff. So, anywhere else that something jumped out at you? So, I'm going to try and phrase this whole like different social situations.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we know what I'm talking about. It's fine. Whatever. Words are hard.
Social situations, and then a smiley face.
I'm trying to encourage people on Discord to jump in, but if they have ideas later, we can add them to the Discord server later too, I'm sure.
Yeah. I will save this. I'm able to save the mind map to, like, it caches it within my web browser. I don't know whether that lasts beyond like shutting down my computer or whether it stays around. I haven't tested that. But if we think of anything later on this evening, I could definitely add that to it. Can't guarantee beyond that point though.
Sorry, I've just got chat open because I completely forgot to get it open. I don't know why. Like, the only thing I've been playing a lot of Skyrim lately, and every time I think of mask, I think of the Mask of Clavicus Vial, and it's spelt with a QUE rather than a K, which is like really cool and interesting. But like, I'm probably gonna like absolutely go a nerdy route of some sort, and if I've been playing that a lot, that could be a nice source of inspiration. It's like a magical mask. I guess the film The Mask falls into this as well. Magical masks that do things, or like gifts from gods. Because like the mask in The Mask was Loki's mask that he threw to Earth to cause mischief. Don't know. That was a lot of points. Like a lot of very disjointed points. Yeah, I guess like cursed artifacts or something like that.
That's a nice way of putting that.
Yeah. Or enchanted.
Which is the Edgar Allan Poe story with the masquerade ball.
Ooh, masquerade ball. That's another good one.
Yeah. I think I did try and mention it in there, but we were riffing too hard and it got lost in the ring.
Sorry.
Masquerade. That's not how you spell masquerade, is it?
That one in
Mask of
particular
Red
was sticking out
Death.
to me. I would imagine if somebody for Film Prompt Society did like an Edgar Allan Poe inspired short film.
Good.
It may never
God,
happen,
that would
but it would be so
good. We have some poets on the server.
We do? We do.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure we have poets on the server.
I'm gonna call them out.
Yo, poets, where you at? Get down on Edgar Allan Poe's The Mask of the Red Death, please.
Well, Jay writes songs and song lyrics, doesn't she? Is Anna a poet?
I don't know. Anna definitely writes prose, but whether it's poetry, I don't know. But
in a way, we're all poets, aren't we?
That was very poetic, was it?
Super deep.
Who knows?
Too deep for me.
I've been enjoying so many shower thoughts recently. It's really dumb.
Other people's, you mean? Or...
No, just mine. Like, because I think them and I'm like, wow, that's really deep. Hang on a second. No, it's not. I had one and it's gone. Sorry. Like, go on.
No, I was gasping and apologizing because I probably distracted you from your riff.
No. It was my own, just like manic mind losing it very quickly. Like, I guess it kind of goes along with like the hang on, how do I view there? So it's like it kind of falls in with like the true self one, which is like your like identity, I guess. Or like the kind of the two-dimensional way which people who wouldn't necessarily know you understand you. That's a lot of words. Like
yeah.
The way you're presented in the world that is easy for others to absorb. Kind of like, I don't know.
Yeah, like the versions of yourself that exist to different people. I don't know if
like
a term for it.
We've got like social situations there, but like the version of yourself that others can easily consume, but like in depth about like your demographic and like belonging or like the hobby circles you belong to or your fan circles you belong to, kind of like, oh, that person's a super hulock, or that person's like
the different facets of your personality.
Yeah, I guess. Sorry. Scraping the barrel.
I think we're the only people here and the only people watching right now. So at the moment, it's sort of like my last 3 brain cells trying to figure out what masks we wear.
I don't even understand what a mask is at this point anymore.
Yeah,
there is a Vangelis album called Mask. Does that album called Mask? I wonder if there's any connection between all these albums. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 albums called Mask, and I wonder how much they reference them each other. There's a Bauhaus one. Good lord, there's only so much Wikipedia can give me. And Mask from South Khorasan, which is a village in South Khorasan province in Iran. Mask is a place.
We've been we've been focusing on mask, but is there anything we can do with wearing or multiple masks? That kind of idea. The masks we wear. I guess that plays in two different versions of yourself if you're going for multiple masks rather than just one kind.
Facial mask? Oh, we've already got makeup and beauty, don't we?
Yeah. I guess clothing and uniform could fall into that.
Mm-hmm.
Where should I stick that? Let's stick it in the versions of yourself. That kind of works. So it's just for reference. It doesn't matter if it doesn't flow perfectly.
I think it's pretty good. We've got a beautiful little mind map going.
Yeah, I need to rejig it though. It's bothering me that like I can't fit it all on screen.
I think I've got an idea for my one for this, my submission.
Woohoo! Well, then the
It's a
mind map
stretch.
has served its purpose.
It's a stretch, but it's there.
That's the thing. Like, I think people often get hung up on like, oh, this doesn't fit the prompt very well. Like, it's a weak, tenuous link, and it's like, doesn't matter if the prompt got you to that idea and then it made you want to create something. Then that's the whole point. So even if nothing mask related shows up in the video, if it made sense to you in your like thought train, then good to go.
Yeah.
What was the like added bonus goal for this one? Was there one?
There wasn't.
Okay.
No, I've not been very good at coming up with those recently.
I've got
anyone watching back.
Come up with good ones for June.
Yeah. For anyone watching back, we sometimes come up with secondary goals, like including a certain color or a sound effect for some of the prompts, but we don't have one for this one. But Henry has an idea.
Unofficial goal for this: connect all of these.
Wear every mask.
Good luck.
At once. Just like
at once. Same video, 3 minutes, all of these concepts, please. Oh god. That's a headache. That's a migraine and a half, isn't it?
Right. So do we want to say call it for now on the mind map and start chatting about this collaborative prompt for me?
Yeah.
Cool. In which case I shall work out how to make my camera become the thing again. So
oh, that's a cute background. I'm glad it was that, but yeah.
The lovely photo of some lemurs that I took a couple of years ago.
You took that one?
Beautiful.
Yeah.
That's really good.
And there's a zoo with like a walkthrough bit with the lemurs in Pembrokeshire.
Nice.
So.
Didn't even know lemurs existed in Wales. But there we go.
Yes, they're a secret native species.
It's the Welsh lemur. They live on Anglesey and bum around in the Menai for some reason.
Just thinking that there may be some people who could be watching us tonight, but they're probably out voting at the moment. So
oh yeah,
true. Yeah, go out and vote if you haven't already.
We've tried to avoid clashing with Game of Thrones and
local elections.
Yeah.
I actually kind of wonder, not to go off on too much of a tangent, what the difference in numbers is between people voting today and people who watched the long night.
It's interesting, actually. Yeah,
that would be interesting.
Both good things to do: vote and watch Game of Thrones.
So the plan is to make something that's collaborative in some way. So we don't have to have like a full like plan set in motion by the end of the stream, but the idea is just to like get us on the right track at the very least, and then we can continue that discussion in the Discord server over the next couple of days and hopefully have that like locked in with a plan by the end of the weekend. That's like the goal, so that everyone who wants to take part in this knows what they're doing and has plenty of time to do it.
Yeah, so we wanted to do something kind of special for the 1 year anniversary-ish prompt. So
yeah, sorry if I'm distracted. I'm in a room like I'm looking out on the car park. I'm on the ground floor, and that Domino's van just showed up, and there's a guy walking around looking lost. So just like, is he gonna find the flat he's looking for?
You just want a free pizza.
Have they already paid online, or do I need cash?
Oh, damn it. Yeah, that's a tight one. Sorry.
Mm.
Collaborative.
Yes.
Let's do it.
Now I want pizza.
So,
I shouldn't have mentioned it. I'm sorry.
I always like thinking about pizza. So we had a couple of main ideas for all of us coming together, whether or not you've taken part in Film Prompt Society before. And I think the first one that Jules mentioned in the temporary prompt announcement video a couple of days ago, which may or may not have already self-destructed, was somehow all
Still
working,
never know.
all working together on one video somehow, which I think one of your suggestions for that was to have somebody working on sound design, somebody working on visuals, or doing a section each somehow. So yeah, what do you guys think about that? Is that still on the cards, do you think?
I think it's an option, and I think it would be an interesting logistical challenge to work out how to do, which if any of us are interested in going into film or TV or online video production, having some experience of working together on a single project might be quite useful. That was kind of my thinking of the reason for doing it that way. That it, might be an interesting practice run for a more complex production.
Yeah.
I
was. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Henry. No, go ahead. I've spoken for like so much.
I was like really into the idea of each like telling like a story, but each doing a small section of that story.
Like
But
a sort of folding paper game.
Yeah, but kind of like in the styles of our own videos, which could be interesting, especially because our styles are very different. So I'd love to see the outcome of that, though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, it would be really interesting. No, we've all done the thing of, oh, no one's talking, we'll jump in. Yeah, like if we had something along the lines of, a line that one person ended with and the next person had to start with, or something like that, or at least they were told, like you're saying with the paper folding game, so you'd maybe see the last line of dialogue or the last, like, a description of what would be visually shown if there wasn't dialogue maybe, or something like that, and then you had to, like, continue the story as such, which could be hilarious, like how the paper folding game tends to go. It could be completely all over the place and a bit of a mess, but also fun, or it could kind of surprisingly work, who knows. So that's definitely an interesting idea, or something similar like that, where perhaps we like together write like a really short script, and then everybody uses the same script or outline or something like that, so they're all kind of like continuous in that kind of way. But then I don't know if that would get a bit repetitive to watch if it was kind of the same. I don't know, because they'll end up quite different, so I don't know.
Or like one script, but each of us had a different part of that script to work on.
But would that all be for one video or separate videos in a playlist?
Depends how long the section is, I guess.
Yeah, actually, that's the fair point.
Because if everyone's got like 20 seconds worth, it would make sense for someone to collate them all into one video that like gets uploaded to FPS. But then if they're going to be a couple of minutes, then it would make sense to have separate videos. So that would kind of depend on the situation.
The issue then is with doing one video is if even one person can't make the section, then the whole thing kind of collapses, or somebody else has to pick up the slack. And that's, I'm not sure if Jacob is in the FPS server, Awesomepedia Jacob, but he's been working on an animation collaborative video a lot like the paper game for probably at least a few months now, and that's been a major issue that he's been running into. So it's very tricky to get people to pull together for one video. So I would probably lean towards a playlist somehow.
So I've just had a thought. Kind of like I mean, the closest thing I've linked it to in my head right now is Pulp Fiction. Is like interweaving stories of separate characters, but all experiencing kind of a similar world together, or how they interact with that. Or I don't know, a description. Another thought: a lineup of criminals, and us explaining what each one's done. I don't know why.
And that could be interesting. Like, I don't know. I've just gone to fantasy because that's, but like you've got a room of adventurers in a tavern, and each of us has the backstory of one of the characters, like a D&D group, that kind of thing.
We have a couple of ideas for masks in the chat that we missed before. The Richard Nixon mask from Point Break, and also the comment that Henry is a poet. Apparently you've written.
Thank you, Adam.
A beautiful sonnet.
That.
Deeply moving, interesting.
Well, I won't do the screen share, but I'll stick Richard Nixon.
Richard Nixon, that's from Point Break. Yeah, so that is 100% Adam, my housemate, or Seth, depending on who's logged into their YouTube channel. But most likely Adam. Hi, Adam. But yeah, describing a lineup, because I mean that has the advantage of if one person for whatever reason can't make it, we still have the other characters in this tavern. And I guess at the end, once we've got submissions up, we could have someone to tie them all together. I don't know.
Something like that, yeah, would be interesting. Like, yeah, whether it's a police lineup and they've all seen a different part of some kind of complex crime, or else would there be a group of people getting together? You'd want to know. Some kind of like, maybe there's a family meeting and like, family gathering, and everybody knows parts of some big deep secret.
Yeah. Or everyone's different interpretations of the same experience. Yeah, that would be so cool. I don't know how we'd do that logistically, but it would be so cool.
I've already got ideas. I'm really excited actually. So I had another thought of like people in an apocalypse all meeting in like a bunker and explaining their journeys, how they got to that bunker.
Yes.
Oh, I like that.
I didn't just jump for joy, but yeah, I'm excited. That's a cool idea.
Well, I think we've definitely got a contender for what the idea will be. No, that could be really cool because, yeah, like we could really play with the scenario for that.
I'm glad that fits everyone's. Everyone enjoyed that because that's really easy for me because I'm just thinking of different algorithms that I can play off with. Similar to, how I did the ant boats, the one about the trading ships and like the archipelago that I made up.
Yeah.
Similar to the movement that went in that, I can see a lot of playing around with that if we were to do this one. I don't know. I mean, like all of these ideas, I've thought of something. I'm very interested in see how this goes.
That would be cool though. All of the FPS film makers gather at a fire at the apocalypse and share their stories.
Yeah, I definitely, like, of what we've mentioned, that interests me the most, definitely. And I think that has the most scope for allowing everyone a bit of creative freedom, but also, yeah, if somebody can't take part for whatever reason, whether they've suddenly become busy or whatever, then the whole project won't fall apart because that one person was busy. So yeah, definitely something along those lines I think will probably work well, and that will be really nice to have as a playlist. And like, I'm kind of visualizing, like, we could, because there's a couple of us who are artists as well, like we could maybe have an intro video that's the FPS uploads with like some images of like the group and some simple animation or something, I don't know. But
that could also be a collaborative part for anybody who really does want to do one collaborative video. Do that as the intro. Or who wants to take part in that but doesn't want to make a short film.
Yeah, it's a shame we weren't doing this a few years ago though, because that would really lend itself to old school YouTube animation annotations. So,
Oh man,
because
yeah,
you could
it would.
have the image of everyone sat around the fire and have a little clickable thing to go to each of their videos. But yeah,
You can only really do that at like the end of a video now.
and only like 4 maximum. So,
Oh yeah. Damn.
I mean,
I saw a
YouTube
video.
have mentioned that they're planning on introducing a new version of annotations. Like they've removed them so that they can add a new thing. But whether that's like they're just beta testing it and whether they'll actually get launched, I don't know. But there's some kind of annotations thing coming back in the discussion.
At some point, that's been a long
Yeah.
time coming.
Yeah.
It's maybe a bigger and more unwieldy concept, but I love the idea of somehow doing a choose your own adventure video on YouTube.
Yeah.
Doing that collaboratively could be fun too. Maybe not in the same style of Apocalypse intro video, choose your film prompt maker to go with and see if you survive. But that would be fun. It would be way too big to attempt in a month, but that would be fun.
Yeah.
I think
again, like, would have been so much easier with annotations.
I guess we could, I mean, we could always just put like in the description, like the things with it.
Yeah.
But it's just annoying that it's so out of the way, especially because descriptions by default are collapsed now, which is unhelpful. But
yeah, some kind of choose your own adventure would also be quite a cool idea. So definitely not off the table, but also would require, like, could fall apart if someone pulled out. If it's one of the endings, then that wouldn't be so bad. But if someone was making something that was in the middle of like a story tree, then that could throw everything off. But definitely would be a cool option.
I feel like at some point in the past we toyed with the idea of having collaborative films as part of a prompt, as the sort of additional part instead of a sound effect or a color. So one prompt, and then also the additional challenge of having 2 or 3 people who want to make a Film Prompt Society prompt into a film, branching off together and working on it together. Maybe not for this time, but I would still be up for doing that as a challenge in the future.
Definitely up for that, yeah.
Yeah. So maybe we can kind of use this to see like how the logistics of working together goes. Because I think that when we first talked about this, we didn't have the Discord server going. I think that will definitely make it a lot easier rather than people trying to communicate in other things. At least they can meet through the Discord and then have private chats and stuff. So I think probably a lot more practical now we've got the Discord going. So I'd definitely be up for running that as the bonus challenge some point in the next couple of months.
Yeah, absolutely.
We can all get our collaborating maybe a bit late quota.
So trying to think of other ways we could do things together. I think we felt like a lot of these ideas have been really good. So
has anyone done a collaboration video before?
I have, but only like, filming together in person in like a chatty kind of way rather than a project.
Yeah.
So,
and especially across like the whole country, where the situation
when it's not practical to physically meet up. No.
I did once do a long distance collab with 3 other YouTubers, and the fact that we weren't in the same place was kind of part of the joke of that. It's quite an old one now. It's called Marco Polo, but that was fun.
I remember that one. That's really good, that one.
Oh, thank you. It's probably not the best quality if I watch it back, but it was really fun to make. So yeah, sometimes those restrictions can sort of bolster your creativity, and you can turn it into part of the story or part of what you're working with. And then of course, me and Henry have made a couple of videos in the same room. So we've all had a bit of. We've made at least one. We did.
We made the Summer in the City one.
City tag, yeah.
Yeah.
That might have been the only video we're in together. It can't be.
I've done the gingerbread one, and that required some collaboration.
True.
Or I was just kind of like everyone,
Yeah.
but that's like light collaboration, like diet collaboration. Like,
So you have to get people to like
So, yeah.
do stuff for you. So
yeah,
I think it
I'm
counts.
still trying to get another one of those done for a poetry generator, but for that I need words. So I'm just waiting until a bit more come in for that.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking that there's been. See, I've watched a load of collaboration videos, but from the top of my head, I cannot tell you what was in any of them. Like,
Yeah, the only ones that come to
Those
mind
are-
for me are when it's just two people sat next to each other chatting about a topic. I can't
yeah,
bring to my mind anything more complex than that.
I mean,
There's
I was gonna say I don't maybe still within our range, but there's these guys that made a song where each of them played a different instrument, but they didn't know what the other person was playing, minus they knew the key and the chord progression and the tempo, and kind of how long the verses and choruses were. So they know the structure, they just didn't know the melodies or like any of the intricacies of it. And then they just wrote music, and then at the end of it tied it all together.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not musical, but that's very cool.
I haven't been musical for a long time, so
we haven't had any musically inclined prompts or responses to prompts yet, I don't think.
we
But
haven't.
it would be quite cool to lean into that in the future, because there are definitely
Yeah.
some musicians and songwriters among us. So.
Yeah, and that would definitely be an interesting challenge for those of us who are not particularly musically minded. Like I can sort of play guitar. I played it for a few years, and I do still have a guitar, though one of the strings is broken. But I don't understand music. I just learned how to play music.
By string broken, you mean your guitar has a unique sound to it.
Yes.
It has a
Unique sound as it
ultimate...
tried to murder me with one of its steel strings.
I had a bass string break once before. That was awful.
Ooh.
That was...
Ooh.
I don't know how
No.
I did it either, because those things are chunky.
Yeah, like I don't like. I've only ever had the high E break.
Yeah.
Always while I'm tuning it, which is why I end up with like a welt on the back of my hand as it whipped me. So not good times.
Collaborative videos. I mean,
remember,
minus. Oh, I'm sorry.
I remember a couple of years ago, Evan Edinger did like a big thing with a load of YouTubers for Valentine's Day, where it was like a Valentine's Day quiz using like the annotation things, and then you ended up with a YouTuber as your date with a little video.
Oh my god, I love that. So good. I was gonna say, like, a lot of the collaboration things I've seen were like, everyone do a tag and like tag your friends, and like, because those are like very easy to do, I guess. Very low maintenance. I mean, there's interested ways of doing them. I mean, for example, Near Summer in the City video last year, that was like very unique and powerful. Well, mostly just him like shouting at the camera, but I liked it. It was good. So yeah, like there can be interesting things with like quiz tags.
Yeah, actually, maybe I was going to say like kind of FPS is its own tag in a way, because we have a prompt, but having like an FPS tag of like a set of questions or a challenge or something could be fun.
It's a shame that you can't also do video replies anymore, because that lends itself perfectly for that.
It's such a
shame.
That's why TikTok's going to take over the world.
That's why TikTok is taking over.
Oh, do I have to get into TikTok? I'm just an old person. I don't want to do the new thing. Let me stay on my old website I joined when I was 15.
Christ, it's been a while, hasn't it?
Yeah.
This website, this beast.
So yeah, Jules Ender began its life in 2006. So
yowza, that was like a year after YouTube started.
Yeah. I was on it. Not that I did anything with it, but because you needed an account to leave comments and stuff, so that's all it was.
enter view equals 3 videos, you needed a verified account that was
Yeah.
aged over 18. So I had to make one because I wanted to watch the swearing videos.
Too real. It's all too real.
That's why I think my like Let's Play channel account, I think my age on that is like 67 or something stupid like that.
My actual old account, which may or may not still exist, for commenting on equals 3 videos was called something like Bien sûr je suis majeur, which means of course I'm an adult.
Good God, that is good. That's another
I
thing.
don't
Sorry,
know how old I was. Somewhere in my teens.
I'm just thinking, like, YouTube used to have like that messenger service, didn't it? It was like an email system, but for just YouTube channels, where you could send someone a message on YouTube, because that's how me and my friend used to
That only
talk.
went away a few months ago.
Really?
It was hidden in the creator studio. It was still there, and
God
occasionally
damn it.
I'd get sent a message on there. I wouldn't see it for like 6 months, but yeah, it still existed for a ridiculously long time.
That was like, I had me and my friend Chloe would chat on that exclusively. Like when I first went to uni, that's how we stayed in touch, because neither of us really, like, I used Facebook, but not really to chat, because the chat system on it used to be so bad and like would drop connections all the time. But I wonder, I don't know why in my mind I'm thinking, is there collaboration in that? But it's gone. I don't know why I'm trying to bring it back.
So yeah, back to collaboration. What else could we do? There must be some other like bizarre thing that we could do, like all saying a word individually and like editing it all together into one thing or something like that. Like that's stupid and wouldn't really work, but could potentially spark a better idea.
We each create a new monster, and at the end we have to get them to compete against each other. And some could be like fighting, and some could be like friend only, and some could be like, I don't know where I'm going with this. Create a monster and just throw them at each other and see how they
Wherever
do.
you're going, it's a great place.
It's like Pokemon, except some of them are friends.
Yeah.
This is Gavin. He's a nice boy. Sometimes he eats villagers, but he don't mean to.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Are you okay, Jules?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm trying to remember to mute the mic before I cough. The thing is, all I can do is come back to that, like, yeah, the surviving the apocalypse backstory thing. I feel like that's what we're probably going to do, something along those lines, isn't it?
I mean, in theory, we could do all of these at some point in time.
That is true. Like, it's something we could always come back to. If this works and we enjoy it, then yeah, why not in a few months have another collaborative month? So
what might be an idea is if we pick one that's like a bit more accessible for us, with a lot of us having busy schedules. So we pick an accessible one now, and in the future maybe do a high risk one.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Like high risk meaning like it depends on other people, sort of thing.
Yeah.
We could always begin planning that a couple of months in advance. Say like, okay, so in August or whenever, we're going to try and do something bigger.
Yeah. Yeah, that might be worth, if we did want something like, yeah, that everything flowed off one another, then if we have the full plan for that ready a few months beforehand and reminded people to, like, maybe there's a Google Doc you can look at and like prompt people, like, if you're interested, look at this, and so that people are prepared. Yeah. So
I've just found a video. I'm typing collab videos called The Sims 4 Sim Swap, which is really interesting, actually.
Yeah.
Just a thought in my head of like, we each build a house and a sim, but we send the sim to the other person to stay in whatever hellhole they've concocted for these sims to survive in.
Do we all have?
I don't know where my mind is right now.
I've got the Sims 2.
Everyone can get the Sims 2 free, I think.
Are they still doing that?
I've no idea, actually. That was 5 years ago. So
that's how I got it.
Yeah. That was 2014, wasn't it?
Yeah, I do also have. I do have the original Sims as well. So.
Nice. Oh my god, I didn't know you could get the complete collection on this.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, good times. I don't know if this will still work on my computer without some serious compatibility settings.
Yeah.
But
you have to do some like manual hacking to get it to work on Windows 10.
Yeah. Oh, I'm still Windows 7, which they're not supporting next year. They're ending it. I'm gonna have to sort that out.
They're
I'm not
gonna
happy
force
about
that
this.
upgrade. At least at this point now, Windows 10 is fairly stable compared to when it was
Yeah.
originally released for free.
Yeah. But yeah. Well, I'm hoping to replace this computer by the end of the year, so it won't be a problem anyway. But this one's just gonna be stuck on Windows 8 forever because whatever. So I don't care. I couldn't upgrade it because I was doing programming stuff for my PhD and didn't want to risk the software not working properly or whatever.
Oh god, that is always the worst.
I just left it, and now I'm like, this laptop's dying. I don't need to get a new version of Windows. It's got a hot list of problems. It's not worth saving.
Okay, this is a total pipe dream, but imagine an FPS retreat, kind of like the Ruckus retreat, where all of us get together and somehow find a way to put all of our disciplines together into making one short film. How beautiful would that be?
It would be. I mean, you say pipe dream. I would like, if we keep this going for like another 6 months or so, it would be awesome to have like a sort of gathering kind of thing, not like a full-on organized thing, but like pick like, I don't know, Manchester or something, and like everyone try and get there, depending like whereabouts in the, you try and work out like a roughly middle point for most people who are available in the UK or in Europe who are able to come.
I guess Coventry would be the midpoint.
I mean,
midpoint with things to do.
I mean, Henry, you're also literally in Manchester. You could have taken that win and run with it.
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah. I was just
I
like,
would be up for Manchester, to be honest.
So I say Manchester if there's anyone in Scotland, because then that definitely makes it in the middle. If there's nobody in Scotland, then Manchester's not very central. So
how about?
Do we have any Southerners? We must have a Southerner.
No, we must do.
I'm probably the most Southern.
Matt's in Bristol, isn't he?
Oh yeah, true. We're about the same though. The Wales, I don't know. Does Wales count as the South? I don't even know.
Wales, weirdly. So if you talk about economic North and South, Wales counts as the North.
Because we very poor. So
there is a map that shows the split between North and South, and it counts Wales as the North.
Is that the one that kind of goes to where like Wales and England meet at the Bristol Channel and just like diagonally up?
Yes, yeah.
Like...
and like it cuts York. I can't remember. York. Most of Yorkshire is north, but I think York is kind of like, I don't know.
The posh Yorkshire.
Yeah. So I think they count that as the south. I can't remember.
Anyway, that's off topic. So.
Yes.
From what we were just saying before, how about maybe trying something like that if some of us are going to be at Sitsi? Rolling that into the two. If we're there a day early, or if we just spend a couple of hours one evening.
Well, I've deliberately
I still don't know if I'm going to necessarily come to Sitsi because like I still haven't managed to get a job, so like money. But like I probably like a bus like to London is like £10 from here.
What?
So I could
That's insane. That's so good.
So I could like it does take like 4 hours because they stop at like every city on the way.
Yeah.
But I could in theory do like come along for a day or have one night or something and maybe just not come to Summon City. But I don't know. I'll see like how money is and decide on that. But I would like to come along around that time just to see people. So but yeah, we could kind of like have FPS day the day before or the morning before Creator Day because it starts at like 11-12, doesn't it? We could maybe do something in the morning.
So like I'm getting there Thursday, I think. Well, I have Thursday off, so I could get there Thursday in theory. I can't remember the timings of it.
No.
Is it Friday and so on?
I think. Yeah.
It's usually Friday is the Creator Day, and then it's the weekend.
Saturday, Sunday, yeah. And then Monday home time.
Yeah. Right,
And I
so
guess
we've been
'cause
going
we're
for
all-
about an hour now.
Mhm.
So I feel like we've had all of our ideas kind of thrown out there. So I'm getting the feeling something along the lines of we all give a backstory for a character in some scenario was the favourite, and the apocalypse scenario was specifically the favourite. So shall we say that the idea is going to be that for May, that we can work out the kinks and like a more specific scenario, and maybe like come up with some character bios so we make sure that everyone's characters are a bit different and that kind of thing. Maybe do that in the Discord over the next day or two.
I'm into that. Sounds good.
Cool. All right. So, any last ideas? Always the awkward question right at the end.
A name for the prompt somehow, something like The Road So Far, supernatural style.
Oh. I've got demon blood in me, Dean. Sorry.
Old school supernatural.
I do like The Road So Far.
Yeah, that definitely fits it. And that could fit if we decide to not go with an apocalypse scenario. That could still fit if we did change it. So
yeah. Because I do also like the adventurer one as well. They're all in a pub chatting.
So yeah, The Road So Far. Let's go with that then.
Cool.
Nice.
Cool. We have a prompt. Good job. All right. So the mind maps that we made at the start of the stream, I will tidy it up and get that up on the Discord server as an image so you can look at that there. So yeah, The Road So Far is going to be the prompt. It's going to be us all working on different characters in this scenario. So we'll work on that in the Discord. There's definitely a link to the Discord in the description, even though I haven't finished sorting out the description of this stream. Sorry about that. There's definitely a link to the Discord, so if you're not already in it, go join that now. And we will continue the discussion there. I might make a new board channel, whatever it's called, specifically for this to go in. So I will do that once we finish on the stream. Have I missed anything? Are we good? Was that everything?
I think we're good.
I think that's everything.
Cool. All right. Well, thank you both for joining in on this stream.
Thank you.
And thanks to the people who popped up in the chat. And yeah, I think that's it. So there will be another stream next week, probably on Thursday, hopefully if all goes to plan. That will be with that's going to be a workshop style one about making props. So it's going to be me, Will McDaniel, and possibly Jamie and maybe somebody else that we haven't quite sorted out yet, talking about making props for an hour. So that'll be the usual time of 7 on Thursday next week. So hopefully see you there. And right, I guess now it's time to end the stream. See if it'll let me do it this time.
Thank